Hello students, in this video we are going to learn how to play with the bishop pair. If you have the bishop pair, then you have the advantage in the endgame because both the bishops can control the light squares and the dark squares. So if you have a bishop pair, you can control both type of squares. And it is especially effective in the endgame because if your opponent places his pawn on the dark squares, then you attack them with your dark square bishop, or if your opponent places his pawn on the light squares, then you attack them with your light square bishop. Let's look at an example. In this position we are black, we have the bishop pair and opponent has bishop and knight. So thanks to the bishop pair we have the advantage in this position. Our first priority is to limit the potential of these two pieces. So first we play b6. Opponent's bishop was attacking the e7 pawn. So we play b6 and now the bishop is blocked and these two squares are covered, so knight is also blocked. White plays h3 and we come back. We play bishop e6. After rook fd1 we play c5. Now c5 is covering this square, so the knight cannot come to d4 and bishop is dead. White's bishop is dead, it cannot do anything. So white plays bishop g5. You play f6, bishop to f4 and now you play king f7. In the end game, you should prepare your positions slowly. There is nothing concrete happening right now, so you can take your time and slowly improve your position. In the end game, your king should be in the center, so black simply develops his king. White plays f3 and now here is the important rule about the bishop pair. When you have the bishop pair in the end game, you should play on both sides of the board. If you place your bishop in the center, then they can control the queen side and they can also control the king side. So you should play on both sides of the board, and that's why here black plays g5. After white plays rook cross g8, bishop e3, and now you simply play h6. Your idea is to play f5, f4, white plays rook e1 and you play f5. Your idea is to play f4, so opponent stops it. He is attacking the pawn, so you play bishop f6 and protect it. White plays g3 and now you start playing on the queen side also. So you play a5. Your threat is to play a4 and attack the knight. White goes back and you play a4. You are gaining space on the queen side also. This is the advantage of the bishop pair. If your opponent has a knight and knight can play only one area of the board, either the knight can play on the king side or the queen side, but bishops can play on both the sides. They are long range piece and that gives you the advantage. White plays a3 and now you play bishop c4. The bishop is controlling these light squares and opponent's knight is restrained by this bishop. White plays king f2 and now you play g cross f4. White plays bishop cross f4 and now look, our rook wants to go to d2 but the bishop is controlling this square. So we play bishop g5 and we want to exchange this bishop so that our rook goes to d2, second rank. White plays bishop cross g5, h cross g5 and king comes to e3. King tries to cover the d2 square. We play king f6, improving our king. White plays h4. G cross h4. Now white has a passed pawn on the h file. But our pieces are so active that we are going to capture this pawn. We play rook e8 check, king f2 and we take the rook. King cross e1, king e5. Our goal is to go to f4, king g4, king h4 and capture the pawn. This knight is far away from the pawn. The knight cannot defend the pawn. Knight tries to come to e2 and now we take the knight. King cross e2, king f4 and we are going to win this pawn. Let's say white plays king f2, you play king g4, king e3. Now we play f4 check, king goes to d2, and now you capture the pawn. King f3 and you come back, king g5. We have an extra pawn and you can convert this pawn into a queen. White plays king e4 and you play king g4. King d5, white is trying to attack our pawns, but it's too late. You push the pawn, and you make a queen. With an extra queen, it is easy to win this game. Now let's look at the second example. In this position also, white has the bishop pair, white has two bishops, where black has one bishop and one knight. Right now, e4 bishop is blocked by its own pawn, so white puts the light square bishop on a different diagonal. White plays bishop f5. Black plays g6. Black can also play king g7, f6 and activate his king. White plays bishop c8, attacking the pawn. Black plays a5 and you play bishop a6, attacking another pawn. b4. Now these pawns are fixed. These pawns are on the dark squares. So now it is the duty of the dark square bishop to attack these pawns. So white plays bishop g5. What is the idea? Bishop will go to d8 and it will attack the a5 pawn. So knight goes d7. Bishop d8 and he plays knight c5. Right now he is attacking our bishop, so we save it. Now if black plays a4, then we play bishop a5 and win the b4 pawn. That's why here black must play knight b7, defending the pawn and attacking our bishop. So we play bishop c7. Black plays bishop e7 and we play bishop b5. Our goal is to put the bishop on c6, then capture the knight, or if the knight moves, then we capture the a5 pawn. Black brings his king toward the center and we play bishop c6. We are threatening the knight. So if the knight moves, we are going to win the a5 pawn. That's why here black plays bishop d8, defending this a5 pawn. And we play bishop b8. Now black is forced to move his knight. Knight must move, otherwise knight will be captured, and then we can play bishop cross d6. Finally, we have managed to win a pawn and our pawn is on the d5. In the next few moves, you will push this pawn forward and make a queen. With an extra pawn, it is easy to win the game. And with your king also, you can play king f1, king e2, king d3, king c4, king b5, and you can also attack the pawn. That's why black resigned in this position. That's it for this video. Now let's go to the next one.